Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley showcase. We are entering week 3 of the Lamley Awards, and we are going to start with the best of Mini GT. This will be our next tournament this week that we will be doing on Instagram. 16 cars selected by me, the team of Lamley contributors, and Glenn Chow himself, the owner of Mini GT. I consulted with him too, put everybody's input together, and we came up with a list of 16 Mini GT models that we thought should go head-to-head against each other in a 16-car tournament. There's a lot being left out because Mini GT had a stellar year between all the Mini GT models that came out, the Kaido House models that came out. We tried to get a nice array and selection. I mean, there were so many cars to consider. It was very, very tough. But here's something cool. We're going to go through all 16. I'm going to introduce them to you right now. But join me tomorrow, Sunday, December 11th, on Whatnot, the Whatnot app. There is a link down below to the live stream that I'm going to do. We're going to see these. I'm going to show you all 16 today. Then we're going to live stream on Whatnot to seed them. And as we go, I'm going to give every one of them away. Thanks to Diecast Z and Whatnot, we have one of each that we're going to send to a lucky winner. You have to be watching. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow on the Whatnot app. The link will take you right to the show. Or if you just go to Whatnot, follow Lamley Group, and that show should be listed there. If you are watching this after the fact, just go to the Whatnot app and sign up because I'm going to be doing a ton of other giveaways, including Hot Wheels next week. So you want to be there for that because you can win these. And there's also going to be a ton of Mini GT models for sale, $10 each, in my store. It's going to be awesome. When you sign up for Whatnot, you get a $15 credit. So you could just use one of those to buy a Mini GT model you want. How cool is that? All right, let's get started. We start with this one. Got to put it together a little bit. It comes in 3 major pieces. This is the Mercedes-Benz Actros with the 40-foot container. It's the Liberty Walk Kuma Graffiti model. This is just the base. This is how this comes. Now we're doing models, so we're going to go 164. So obviously Mini GT does 164. So if they're doing a big semi truck with a big container, it's going to be bigger than the cars. This is one that Glenn contributed to our list because of the art involved, and this thing is fantastic. This is the base of it. You put the container on it. I'll show you the cab here. This is the Liberty Walk deco on the Actros cab. We've seen this truck before. It actually has turning wheels on. It's really, really cool. And it's the container that's fantastic. Now, before I show you the container, I mean, you've already seen it. It's all metal with this incredible Kuma graffiti on it on both sides. It's an amazing, amazing container. I really like the fact they do these all metal containers. This one is a unique choice for the best of, but I just thought, and Glenn thought, and I think everybody agreed, this is a very worthwhile. When you just look at, this is just something, when you have this kind of real estate to work with, something so unique, so cool, and a very unique piece from Mini GT. So I'm going to move this kind of back a little bit. Everything on this really functions really well. We're not really necessarily just looking at the vehicle itself. It's the collective, but it's really, really cool. All right. Let's keep going. These are all introduced in random order based on the models, and we'll go next to this one. This is the Liberty Walk. We're going to do another one. Liberty Works Lamborghini Aventador Limited Edition Infinite Motorsports Deco in this red, black, and yellow. I'm going to try. I mean, again, I try not to speak through too many opinions. And like I said, there were so many models that came out for Mini GT this year that it's really hard. Like, I couldn't select all 16. So this is a lot of contribution that came to this. And these are models that really just kind of got a lot of notoriety from collectors, from me, whether it's the casting, whether it's the deco. There's just a bunch of them. So some of them I might be able to explain a little more, but that deco on the Infinite Motorsports Sports is really, really cool. Next one. Bugatti has become a big player with Mini GT, especially this year. We saw the Vision introduced last year. We saw 3 castings, all 3 of which will be in this tournament. That's partly from me. I really like the Bugattis. They've been kind of my favorite thing to come from Mini GT. Seeing this Chiron Per Sport in blue come out, I really like the blue. I think it's the first version of this particular casting that has come out in this color. I think we've seen it now released in yellow as well, but this blue one is so signature. Detailing in the wheels is really good. You know, Mini GT builds from the ground up, essentially. They put the proper wheels on every one of their castings. And of course, that question always comes up, do they roll? Yeah, and they roll quite well. So there is that one, the Bugatti. Next one, let's go to Porsche. Very new casting that just came out, or this version that just came out. This is the Porsche 911 GT3 Touring. I'm trying to keep the boxes out of the way too. We've seen it in a couple of colors, but this particular one caught my attention and some of the others in this beautiful dark blue with the gold rims and the gold Porsche trim on the side. Porsche has been another real stronghold with Mini GT. And I just, it's, you know, it's about realism, and so it's like what really reminds you with Mini GT. It really is what reminds me of the real thing. And there's some obviously creative stuff here with Liberty Walk. Everything, we come at it very differently. All right, let's kind of go over here. I'm just going to kind of randomly pick a couple that were cool. This is the Ford Shelby GT500 Dragon Snake Concept. And I think this is the only color. Maybe there's been some other colors. It's so hard to keep up. There's so many of these that come out. By the way, I should always give a shout out to Miho Exclusives because they are the US distributor for Mini GT. This particular one is it's like a concept, right? Of the Dragon Snake is a Mustang concept with this really, really massive spoiler on the back. Some of the other details. I don't know too much about the innards of this car, but I have to imagine when you're looking at a Shelby concept, it's probably pretty supercharged. So very, very cool car. I just thought the silhouette on that was so cool. That was definitely on my list, Glenn's list as well, I think, for the best of. We'll go classic here. We're seeing a few classic race cars introduced. This is the Lancia Stratos HF number 1, the 1977 Rally Motocross winner. We've all seen this one before. We know this deco. It's so signature with this car. And we saw some road versions of this one, of the Stratos. This is one of the racing ones. Mini GT we're starting to see more and more racing cars come from Mini GT and that classic variety that I think is kind of cool. And this is one that I thought was really neat. And I know our friends into history were into that one. We actually have another one. Should we just get done with it? Just knock the launches out of the way. Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evoluzioni. This is the Martini Racing. There were several Martinis that came out. This one is the plain one. It has no numbers on it. I could have picked any of them. This is the one I did pick. You could use this as a representation for all the Martini launches that were released this year. I think there was at least one other one. There might have been a second one after that, but we decided to choose that one as the representation. So maybe that one. We don't know what it's going to go up against in first round, but it's a pretty cool car. I could see it. I could see it doing very well. Let's get a Kaido House. 2 Kaido House models in the final 16. This was a tough one to go with because we saw Pro Stock Kaido House releases. We saw of the 510. We saw the wagon released in several colors. We'll get to that in just a minute. And then we saw this one just released within the last month. This is the Fair Lady Z from Kaido House. Obviously, this is Junimai's designs, and unique to him, he basically takes, where a lot of the Mini GT models are exact replicas of street cars, of racing cars. This is all from, the Jun bases it on a car, but then everything else comes from his imagination and his creativity, and some replication of some of the real Kaido House cars. This one is based on, I think, roughly based on a Z. I'd have to look at the details because he has a Z in real life. But this blue with the aqua colored trim was really cool. I really like this one. Deep barrels. Here I am expressing my opinions, which I try not to do, but what are you going to do? Very, very unique cars coming from Jun Amai. That one will be, I have a feeling it'll be popular. Why don't we just go full polar opposite from that Jun Amai model to this one, the Hyundai Elantra N. Cyber Gray Metallic. There's a white one that was released as well. Here it is. A unique choice. This is one of the reasons I put this one in, or that this one got voted into the top 16 by the panel, was just because it's a unique model. This is a cool version of it. When you look at that concept, I can't remember what it's called, that's been at the LA Motor Show, was released a few months ago. Hyundai deserves some deserves some attention. I hope someone replicates that concept. I wish I remember offhand what it was called, because it's absolutely stunning. And this is a cool car. Thought that was kind of a neat kind of street version to kind of put into this diverse mix of cars of the top 16. Let's do another Bugatti. It's in the top 16. I said there were 3. Here's the second. Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus. This is the world record 304 mile per hour car. This thing is kind of like really, really cool. If you look at it closely, they've replicated that carbon fiber body on this one. I don't know exactly how they did it. Is this like a plastic coating or is it a plastic body? I have no idea. It's a metal body, I think. But even if it was like in this particular case for what they're trying to replicate with that carbon fiber body, if they did use some plastic for that, because it's so clean, it's so precise, it doesn't feel light. That's why I'm like, if it is, I don't know, you know, it's just an amazing model. I haven't decided on my favorite yet. I vote with you guys when we do the tournaments. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that because I don't like to express my opinion, but I think the carbon fiber treatment on that car is just so cool that I just can't get over how. Anyway, things excite you, and that particular one, that Bugatti does it for me. All right, let's go Bentley. We've seen a few Bentley castings from Mini GT. This is the Bentley Moliner Bacalar in yellow flame. Hopefully I said that right. Really cool color on this one. Convertible, interesting wheels. I know there's some Bentley fans out there that might find this one to be their favorite, want to vote for this. Again, depending on what it goes up against. Could go up against any of these other 15. All right, another one that's just been barely released and had to get on the list. I think it hit everybody's yes list, was the BMW M4 M Performance in Alpine White. We've seen this BMW deco before. Wheels in that star style are really, really cool. It's got that unique BMW grille on the front. I think there's a GT3 version coming out soon, but this one is more of the road version, but it has that M Performance look on it, which is kind of cool. The black rims, black spoilers, super precise. Really clean looking car. Let's put that one next to the Bentley. All right, we'll go over. You can see this one in the corner. Here we go. Another Liberty Walk. This one is another recent release. This is the LB Super Silhouette Nissan S15 Silvia number 23, the 2021 Formula Drift Japan model. This thing, Hot Wheels, well, I mean, Liberty Walk fans know that this is a car that exists. Hot Wheels fans know this is a car because they've seen it in the Hot Wheels line this year. And here is Mini GT's version of it. This one has a really well done stance on it. Has the stretch tire look. Well, I expressed my opinion on the Bugatti. I'll do it on this too. The stance on this is just phenomenal. The wheel treatment with the stretch tires, the way it sits low, it's really impressive. Technically, it's really impressive. Now, I'm not a diecast designer. I don't know what goes. I mean, I have a little bit of an idea, but I don't have the background. All I know is that this is so well executed, and with that low stance, runs smooth. That is a very, very cool model. Maybe that's the one you want to go watch. After I express those opinions, watch the Chiron and the Silvia go up against each other in the first round. Next one, we'll do that final Bugatti. This is the Bugatti. Oh, and I'm going to try and say it right. This is the Cento Dieci in white. Unique wheels, as always. Unique silhouette. This thing looks like a stormtrooper. In white with all the black trim. I like the Bugatti is taking their Chiron silhouette and just playing with it quite a bit, with all these different versions, and then Mini GT's replicating them, which makes it really fun to have all of these, and I'm really digging this one. Two more. Here, we'll just, you'll see this one in the background here. Let's do the other Kaido House. This is the 510 wagon. We saw this introduced. There were several versions. There was the standard version that was kind of based on June's wagon itself with this in this green. I think it's gone now. I think he's changed it up. He's removed it. But when he had the car looking like this with this deco on it, That's not the one we chose. There was also the BRE. I don't think I have that with me right now. The BRE was released, and there was one with like that cherry blossom look. But we went ahead, and this was Glenn's choice and mine, and it just was released in the last week, is the Advan version. Now, what I didn't realize, because Mini GT sent this to me, I even put a picture of this up online and said, on Instagram, and said, oh yeah, if you can, get the dark wheel version, because I thought there were two versions. This is the chase. Don't necessarily, I'm not going to specify the chase because it's essentially everything is the same with the exception that the wheels are more of a chrome color. If there's any other differences, I'm not aware of them. So this one has a more of like a charcoal color, but just judge the Advan livery. You can judge the wagon. I'm not necessarily specifying this one as the chase as the top 16. It's this release. It's this Advan wagon release that I think is really, really cool. So the one that Mini GT sent, because it just came out, happened to be the chase. I don't know if that was random or on purpose, but I really did like the wheels on this one too. But it is just judge it on the Advan wagon itself. If you just are excited about the whole wagon, just go ahead and do that. All right, last one, and then we'll move on. Is this one. It is the Roof Rodeo. It's not a Porsche, it's a roof. I mean, you know what I mean. We've seen several roofs come out from Mini GT this year. Para 64 won the whole tournament last year, the whole multi-brand tournament, the Royal Rumble, with their roof. Mini GT has followed up with their roof this year, several versions. This one is very cool with all of the luggage, the roof rack, shovel in the back, super, super detailed. I thought this one, a lot like some of these other models, very unique. And this one was an instant on my list. I had to put this one in the top 16 because I just thought it was a really cool, detailed, well-executed model. Really big fan of that one. There you go. Those are your 16. You can see some in the background. Great releases that didn't necessarily make it. You might see some of those in the Whatnot store on Sunday if you want them at $10 each. But some of these too. Some of these top 16. We will draw them on Sunday on Whatnot. We'll give them all away. And then we will do the tournament on Instagram throughout next week. So follow me at Lamley Group. The tournament is in my stories. They last 24 hours each round, so you vote for the one you like the best between the two pairings, and then it goes down 8-4-2, and then we crown a champion. You guys tell me what you think. I want to see what ones are your favorite, and then you can vote for them all through the week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.